Praise God. We're looking at how to hold the guitar today. Yeah, there's some things to talk about for that. But before we do, let's remind ourselves of the things that we need. First, the right sized guitar. I've got a half-size guitar here, so depending upon the child, they need to have the right size guitar. A small half-size guitar, or maybe it's a 3/4 size guitar, or a full-sized guitar. Yes. So we have to kind of look at the other tape and judge the child's body size. Remember, we're using nylon string guitars. People with steel strings or electric guitars, you can follow along and even use a pick if you want, but for most kids, it's best to start with a nylon string guitar because it's easier to play, and you can go to any style of music from that, including the electric or nylon or steel string guitar later. So it matches up with their body size for the ages of 6 through 12 pretty well. So after you have the right size guitar, then of course we've got to have the footrest, or a block of wood, or a book, or something to put on the floor, because we will need that, and then a capo. All of these things are involved with this learning how to hold the guitar. Now, of course, we need a chair. So not just any chair will do, because first of all, you have to have a chair that's suitable for the size of the child. And you can tell that because the child's feet will need to be able to touch the floor. So if they're up too high and their legs are dangling, well, they're probably in too high of a chair. You also don't need to have a back on the chair, and it's best not to have something that is between the legs on the front part where it's touching to block your foot from going underneath the chair if you can. That would be best. Now, try the chair that you have, and then move to the front of it so you're sitting on the front of the chair. And then we have both feet in the ground. And we're going to take our footrest and whatever you're using for the footrest, to put it on the floor by the left leg, and then put the left foot on it. So that should come off the ground a few inches so that your left leg is raised higher than the right leg. Then we'll take the guitar and we're going to take the guitar, and then this curvy part on the bottom of the guitar we will put on the left leg. And then this part here, the wider part that rounds, this part right around here will be touching the right leg. And you can just hold it there, and then you let it drop back towards the chest. All right, and then we're going to take the right arm and we'll put it on the top right of this part of it. So for a youngster, this will be good. Then you can see that the neck here will be going up, so it's pointed upward. All right, so now if we try the 3/4 size guitar, left foot on the footrest, left leg up, take the rounded part, put it on the left leg, the wider rounded part, come and touch the right leg, then let it fall back against the chest. Right arm comes up, and on this rounded part, put it over. The next step is to take your thumb and put the thumb on the 6th string, and your middle finger grab the 1st string right here with the middle finger. So your thumb and first finger are holding it like this, and you can tell that the knuckles are somewhat even with the strings. Just hold it there like that. So the guitar is up, and we're sitting there in a good position. Now your left foot, your right foot can go up in its toe a little bit if that needs to adjust so the person is more comfortable. They can kind of move back and forth like this. All right, so now the size of the guitar, it's important that the arm not be way up like this, which would happen with a lot of steel string guitars. It's just too uncomfortable if this arm is up too high. So it has to be like this. Now this is of course a little bit low for me because it's meant for a child. But if you have the full string guitar, and some kids are lanky and they're ready for a full string guitar right from the beginning. Just remember, rounded part on the left leg, which is already on the footrest. Then this part is touching the right leg. And now I put my arm over after the guitar is resting in the chest and we're ready to play. Now what do we do with our arm? We know what to do with this arm now. We're putting our thumb on the 6th string, middle finger on the 1st string, and we just let it rest there. Don't make any sound with it at all. Just touch the strings. Okay, so now our left arm, we can just let it dangle on the side. We can wave it back and forth. Now we're going to bring it up. We're going to have the thumb go behind the neck. So it'll be back here, right? Thumb behind, and the fingers out in front over the fretboard. This is called the fretboard. All right, so we've got the thumb behind, fingers like this, and put the fingers all the way by the 1st string. So we've got a 1st finger, 2nd finger, 3rd finger, 4th finger, each touching the 1st string. Now we're going to take and we're going to move the arm down so the fingers go all the way back out to the end. And what we want to look at here is, how do the fingers line up against these frets? Are the fingers all real close like this, but there's 4 frets to cover? Or at what point is it that the one finger will be able to reach 1 fret and have 4 of them in a row, like that? 1 finger for each fret. So for the kids, usually it'll be somewhere around the 5th position or the 3rd position, the 5th fret or the 3rd fret. Sometimes for the lanky kids on a smaller guitar or something, they can actually play right down at the beginning and they won't need a capo or anything. But for most of us, we will need a capo. And so I would suggest putting a capo on the 5th fret or the 3rd fret. So when we do that, we put the capo down right so that it goes behind the fret on the 5th fret. And then we can put 1 finger by each fret. And then that's would mean that the child would be ready to reach that without having to stretch too far. If they're having to stretch real far like this, it's way too uncomfortable to play. And that's what usually happens when they are down on the 1st position. They're way down here. It's stretching way too far for their hands to reach. So we want to get to a spot where they can put the fingers down comfortably without stretching too far. Try the 5th fret or the 3rd fret with a capo. All right, so there you have it, how to hold the guitar. And just to review, footrest, left leg on the footrest, put the guitar in this part, rounded part, on the left leg, so that part is raised higher than the right leg. The bigger part of the body of the guitar here, this part, can touch the right leg. So it's between those, you kind of nuzzle it in there, and then you let it rest against the chest, and then that right arm comes over, holds it, put your thumb on the 6th string, middle finger on the 1st string, and now we're holding the guitar. And then the left hand, we brought it up and we brought it down to try and find where the fingers would fit comfortably. And then we're going to place a capo, usually on the 5th fret or the 3rd fret, or maybe we don't need a capo, and then we're all the way down to the 1st fret. There you go. Hope you enjoy holding the guitar and getting ready to play, which will be coming next. Take care. God bless.